Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep, and I mean literally deep, into one of the most exciting treasure hunts of our time. We're heading to the sun-drenched turquoise waters of the Caribbean, a place famous for pirates, sunken galleons, and legends of lost gold. But this story isn't just about gold. It's about a discovery that rewrites a piece of history we thought we knew. So grab your gear, because we're going on an adventure. Our story starts with a team of seasoned marine archaeologists and treasure hunters. For years, they'd been chasing whispers and fragmented maps pointing to a legendary Spanish galleon, the Serpiente del Mar, or Sea Serpent. This ship supposedly vanished in a hurricane back in the 17th century, carrying a treasure so vast it was said to be cursed. We're talking chests of gold doubloons, silver bars, and priceless jewels destined for the Spanish crown. For centuries, it was the holy grail for treasure seekers. The team, led by the legendary explorer Captain Eva Rostova, had spent millions on state-of-the-art sonar equipment, submersibles, and a crew of experts. They weren't just some weekend hobbyists. This was a serious scientific expedition. They narrowed down their search area to a treacherous reef system known as the Dragon's Teeth, a place where countless ships had met their end. The conditions were brutal. Strong currents, unpredictable weather, and sharks were just part of their daily routine. For weeks, they scanned the seabed, finding nothing but sand, rock, and the sad remains of modern fishing boats. The crew's morale was dipping. The investors were getting nervous. Was the Serpiente del Mar just a myth after all? Just as they were considering pulling the plug on the expedition, a strange anomaly appeared on the sonar screen. It wasn't the large, distinct shape of a galleon they were expecting. It was smaller, fragmented, and partially buried under a century of coral growth. It didn't match the historical records of the Serpiente del Mar, but it was something. Hope flickered back to life. They had to investigate. They sent down a remote-operated vehicle, an ROV, equipped with high-definition cameras. As the little robot sub descended into the deep blue, the team huddled around the monitors in the control room, their hearts pounding. The first images that came back were blurry, obscured by silt. But then, the ROV's lights cut through the gloom and landed on something man-made. It was a cannon. But it wasn't a Spanish cannon. The design was all wrong. It was sleeker, more refined. It looked English. This was the first major clue that something was very, very wrong with their theory. Spanish galleons didn't carry English cannons. Excitement mixed with confusion. They guided the ROV further along the debris field. They found pottery shards, but not the typical Spanish olive jars. These were decorated with intricate blue patterns, characteristic of Chinese porcelain from the Ming Dynasty. Then they found a stack of metal ingots. A quick analysis from the ROV's robotic arm and sensors revealed they were neat silver or gold. They were tin and zinc. What was a ship in the Caribbean doing with a cargo of Chinese porcelain and Southeast Asian tin? Captain Rostova and her team were stumped. The wreck was clearly old, dating to the right period, but the artifacts were all wrong. This wasn't the Serpiente del Mar. This was something else entirely, something that, according to official history, shouldn't even exist. They decided to risk a manned submersible dive. Rostova herself, along with her chief archaeologist, Dr. Ben Carter, would go down to see it with their own eyes. As their small sub descended, the wreck came into view. It was a hauntingly beautiful sight. The ship's wooden ribs stuck out from the seabed like the skeleton of a great beast, draped in vibrant corals and swarmed by schools of curious fish. It was then that they saw it, partially hidden beneath a fallen mast. A ship's bell. This was the jackpot. A ship's bell often carried its name and date, the ultimate key to its identity. With painstaking precision, the sub's robotic arm worked to clear the sand and debris from the bell. The tension in the control room was unbelievable. Everyone was holding their breath. Slowly, letters began to emerge from beneath the centuries of incrustation. It wasn't Spanish, it wasn't even a European language. The characters were intricate, flowing, and unmistakably Arabic. Back on the surface, the team worked frantically to translate the inscription. The bell revealed the ship's name, the Burak, an Arabic word meaning lightning. And the date was even more shocking. It predated Columbus's first voyage to the Americas by nearly half a century. Let that sink in. They had found a pre-Columbian transoceanic vessel in the Caribbean, a ship from the Old World that had reached the New World before the man credited with its discovery. This discovery sent shockwaves through the academic community. Who were these sailors? The artifacts pointed to a global trade route that historians had never even dreamed of. The Chinese porcelain, the Asian tin, the Arabic bell, it all painted a picture of a vessel that had likely traveled from the east, perhaps through the Indian Ocean, around Africa, and then somehow, whether by accident or design, had been blown across the Atlantic. This wasn't just a sunken ship, it was a lost chapter of human history. The team had set out looking for Spanish gold, a treasure worth millions. Instead, they found something truly priceless: knowledge. They found proof that the world was far more connected, far earlier than we ever believed. The story of the Burak challenges our entire understanding of exploration and the Age of Discovery. It suggests that brave mariners from the Arabic world, or perhaps even further east, may have been the first to bridge the gap between the continents. The search for the Serpiente del Mar continues, its legend now intertwined with the very real, very tangible mystery of the Burak. What other secrets are hiding down there in the deep? What other stories have been waiting centuries to be told? This discovery reminds us that the greatest treasures aren't always made of gold and silver. Sometimes they're made of truth, and that's a discovery that's worth more than any pirate's plunder. What do you guys think about this? Could history as we know it be wrong? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's a mind-blowing find, and it just goes to show that there are still so many wonders left to uncover on our own planet. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey today. If you loved this adventure, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. Until next time, stay curious.